There goes the mic's mute. Hey guys, it's that time again. Wednesday night, we were away for a little bit. We had a little issues with health and stuff with all of us, and we wanted to take a break. But this is the Mayor of Rock and Roll and Friends. Of course, I'm Doc G. We have Sal Serchia here and our friend Fran, who is your guest tonight, Fran, for our show.
All right, so tonight we have a great guest. He's a young man with an extraordinary background. His name is Trey Regar. Trey is a young professional stuntman, martial artist, and an actor. I come to know Trey from working with him a few years back on the Danny Zano show. We just had Danny and Teresa on a few weeks ago. Trey's just phenomenal with his background. By working with him, I saw what a professional he is. He's not just someone that has come along. He trained with the best. So we're going to have Trey give us a little bit about his background tonight. And you guys want to come in and ask him questions, you go right ahead. One of you guys, you want to ask him a question now because I introduced him, and then let's get this party started.
All right, let's get it started with the shout out to Paul.
Yes.
Who just showed a few balloons on this. I don't know if you guys just saw the balloons.
Yes.
So we got to give a shout out to Paul from Trey. Paul is the guy who made the great poster, and with the pictures, he made the picture, the images, and also which was a total drag. He had put on Carl Weathers' Kung Fu Fighting song on the poster, but because of copyrights, they muted it. So we're not allowed sometimes to use songs that are popular. But so that was so shout out to Paul. We got Irene. What is Irene saying? Hey, Doc G, Fran,
hello,
hey, and Cheryl and Paul.
And
yeah, baby.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So,
all right,
Gene, would you like to ask the question?
Yeah. What made you get started in the martial arts or the stunt business?
So my martial arts career started when I was about 6 or 7 years old in 2012, I believe it was. And I was being bullied in school. And then I got transferred into doing homeschooling in the 4th grade. And at that same time, I was also doing, I believe, football and swim team. And then I also started to do martial arts 5 days a week. And that started to get a little hectic with doing both swim team and football along with the martial arts 5 days a week. So I took out my swim team and I also took out the football and I just focused onto martial arts. Now, when it comes to my stunt career, that all came from me doing my martial arts. I met Kim Kahana, who was my stunt instructor, through a martial artist camp that my teacher was putting on at that time. And then about 2 years later, I seen him at my instructor's funeral, and I got invited to his camp, his ranch, and I started doing stunts with him for the next 10 or so years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So you were young when you started with him.
I was about 9 or 10 when I started doing stunts.
Wow, that's crazy. Wow. Because I've seen some of the stunts you've done and they were like amazing and hard to do. Wow.
Oh, yeah. Very taxing on the body.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, I've seen some of the pictures. Fran sent me a bunch of pictures where you're jumping off of places and fire on top of you and all kinds of stuff. It's very, I know a lot of stunt people. My friend, I worked with a few times. Stephanie Finocchio, she's a wrestler and she's also a stunt person. And in fact, the things you do, it's like very, you got to be really concentrated on what's happening because you could get hurt really bad. I mean, I'm sure you're a big fan of Jackie.
Oh, yeah.
most amazing stuntman in the world.
Oh yeah,
Jackie,
100%.
insane. Oh my God.
He does all
So
his own stunts.
on the
Oh,
Cape Kahana Ranch, you I saw some of the work you did with him, but you guys had rigorous training with Mr. Kahana, and I know how he was. He was
Oh
very
yeah,
meticulous. I saw it how he worked with you, but and safety with Mr. Kahana was number one. I know that. And you follow that
100%.
all along. Yes. So how did you find that? Was that very hard and taxing on a younger child to have to be so because I know Mr. Kahana was tough, but he was also good with that. But he wanted everything. I saw like when he was training some of the picks, it was rough. But how did you find that as a young child growing up?
I found it very beneficial actually
Mm,
because it helped put my body through more of a conditioning to get me ready to be able to do all the stuff that I now do.
right.
So it allowed my body to adapt to harsher things, especially here in Florida. It was really hot during the summers,
Mm.
and he would make us do, I think it was about a mile and a half run,
Oh,
and then right back in sugar sand, which is very, very soft sand. And that helped build endurance, and it also helped push your body to its limits so that it could adapt to that kind of stuff.
wow. That sounds odd for a younger kid, but you did it. I saw I saw a lot of the people that were on that ranch, and a lot of them were very young. Young, they were young like you. And I see a lot of them today. What they do. I mean, you did a lot of big movies, also, right? You were in major movies, right? Could you tell us some of that, like what movies you were in that you did some stunts and martial arts?
Uh, One movie that kind of honored Kim Gahana was actually a documentary movie that I did, and it was showing all the behind the scenes, how stunts actually worked behind the scenes, behind the camera, and how the training for one of the movies that he did kind of recreated, where he was jumping over a horse to knock the person on the horse off of it.
Right.
And they showed how I actually was the one jumping over it in the Kim Kahana movie.
Right. I saw.
So, right. So we were training the horse by jumping next to it so that it wouldn't get scared when it was running past. And then some when I was jumping over it as well. So that when I jumped over it, it wouldn't rear up and kick me while I'm in the air
Mm-hmm.
or buck the person that was on the horse off.
Mm,
That was one movie that I did a lot of stunts in.
right.
Trey, what kind of planning goes into a stunt like that where they got to calculate exactly where you're going to be, where the horse is going to be, and at a certain time? And if everything is like Sal said, if everything's off a fraction of an inch, sometimes it
Yeah.
could really be disastrous.
Oh yeah. It can be very disastrous, and it can be very painful at the same time. But at the same time, the stunt coordinator and the stunt man or stunt woman that are coordinating that stunt, they both need to be on the same level and to know where that stuff is going to be. So say the stunt man is like, okay, this bag needs to be 2 inches to the left. That stunt man and the stunt coordinator and all the other stunt personnel that are acting as safety need to be able to move that bag or whatever they're using to land on over that much so that it can be safe for the stuntman to actually jump over, say, a car or a horse or whatever it is that they're jumping over or jumping out of, even a building. And it all really comes down to the stuntman at that point, because they're supposed to be able to eyeball it and say, okay, I need it to be so and so inches this way.
Yeah, and you did a good job because I saw that. I actually saw that clip. That was the Kim Kahana movie, and you did a
Yes.
great job. You were like on spot with that. You
Thank you.
guys ever have a chance, go look at that because he did
what
a
year?
job.
What year did that movie come out? I've heard of the movie. What year did that movie come out?
What was it 2 years ago?
I believe it was 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah,
I'm
about
not
2 or 3 years.
I'm
So
not
you were probably
100% sure.
17, 18 years old doing that, right? 17, 18?
No,
Well,
actually, I would be about 16 or 17 doing it at that point.
Yeah.
wow. Okay. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
it's very, very. You have to be super focused. And I worked on the show Oz on HBO for like season 4, 5, and 6. Every episode, we had stuntmen on there every day for the fight scenes, for the throwing off the top of the roof scenes, and so I would watch these guys like. I remember when I don't know if you guys watch Oz on HBO. That was Oz was. Oh, yeah, I did Oz in the year 2000. Year 2000. So that was 25 years ago, right?
Yeah.
So
Lord.
Wow.
I
Well, he
guess
wasn't born yet.
probably
Nope.
watch that show. It's a very popular show, but we had stunt people on the set every day, and they would get people thrown off the roofs and onto the big cushion thing and just fall back and all that stuff. Even I was
Oh, yeah.
one of the Italian inmates on the show, so whenever the Italians fought one of the other gangs, they would all have stunt guys, all the time. Because we couldn't do that.
But
Some of the guys would go crazy. The extras they would want to act like real stunt guys. One guy broke his ribs. The other guy
Yeah.
the ambulance. I said, "What are you guys doing? You're not stunt guys. You try to be like the stunt guys. They're breaking their ribs and
well,
everything."
that's something that I mean I couldn't do it. I'd break my whole body. But Trey, you've been set on fire a few times, right? I saw some clips where you actually
Yes.
set on fire.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's scary.
and he did
Yeah,
it too.
don't send me the picture. I
It's
saw
fun.
It's fun. You hear this?
Well, you know what? For a stunt person, you love what you do, and when you succeed at what you're doing, it actually turns into like, wow, that was great. I did.
Oh, yeah.
Where
The
to me,
thing
it was
is,
like,
if you do it wrong, though, it's going to hurt a
Yeah.
lot.
Now,
Yeah,
we've been
that's
mentioning
rough.
martial arts. What style? Martial art? Karate, kung fu, taekwondo. Which one are you taking?
So I've done a mixture of multiple different martial arts. I've done a little bit of self kung fu. So I haven't had an official teacher of kung fu, but I've watched YouTube videos and stuff like that to help practice that fluid motion and stuff.
Right.
But my main style that I have a black belt in is Kenkujuku Shotokan, which is a very, very traditional Japanese style of karate.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yes.
And I started in what's called Okinawan Shuriru along with Okinawan Jiu-Jitsu.
Mm.
Those were my two start styles.
Steven Seagal is that style, I believe.
Aikido. He is Aikido.
Right, that's right, Japanese Aikido.
What was my most challenging stunt?
Yeah, Cheryl wants to know. What was
Cheryl.
My most challenging stunt would have to be probably jumping over an exploding car, not just over the hood of it, over the roof. So like a sedan or something like that, I'd have to jump over the roof of it, which would be at that point that I did it was at right to here on me.
Oh,
Of course, there's other things that come into play when it comes to that kind of stunt. Like on one side of the car is what's called a mini tramp. It's what a bunch of circus people like clowns and stuff use.
right.
And then on the other side, when you're practicing it before you actually take the actual shot for the film take, it would be a thin, cushiony mat of some sort so that you could land on it and do it repeatedly so that you didn't get hurt. But at the same time, you would have to know how to do what's called in the gymnastics world a dive roll. And it's very hard to do it when you're, a couple feet off the ground.
Sometimes you got to do it multiple times for the different angles. Keep the continuity going, the continuity,
Right. But with those kinds of stunts, those are more of a 1 or 2 shot takes because they are a very taxing on the body kind of stunt to do. So what should happen with the camera crew is that they should have multiple cameras set up in different angles so that they can get it in one take, because also the pyrotechnicians probably don't have enough of their pyro to be able to set off the car multiple times.
Mm.
So
Trey,
it's,
I can relate to that, Trey, because when I did a movie years ago that never came out, they were going to attach an M80 to my leg and have it blow out and then have a blood capsule open up so it would look like I got shot.
Oh,
And I
Right.
said to him, I am not putting an M80 on my leg because this is a low budget film and you don't even know if it's not going to blow my leg apart.
oh gosh.
oh
And-
yeah.
Yeah, and it's a scary thing. I mean, I ended up doing it, but it was a scary, scary thing. If you didn't try it and don't know and you're just attempting it, that's the scary part about the stunt.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I can't believe they asked you to put an M80 on your leg.
You
Yeah.
did. But in all fairness, there was a piece of wood that would block the M80. Now I'm
Yeah.
thinking M80 is just going to blow things apart. The wood was there to prevent it, but the thing shot everywhere, and that blood went everywhere. It looked like I got blown apart.
That's insanity to me. Sorry, nobody's gonna
But
put
that's
an
low
on me.
budget films, independent films. Like he said, a lot of camera work is not available because they can't afford it because it's low budget. And if they don't know about the stunt, they do it as they go along. They make up things as they go along.
Like
and-
Danny.
And that's the thing with a lot of small independent film things.
I could see Danny Zano put an M80 on his leg. Danny would do it, right?
100%.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Listen, I was praying to the stars that it would be fine.
Oh,
I
boy,
would never
boy.
do it. I would quit right there. I tell them, nope, guys, see you later.
Well, you
Yeah.
want to be in the movie.
No, but not no blowing up, no M80s. I'll be in the movie and I'll do some great acting for you, but no danger for me, baby.
Oh,
I've been in
God.
movies low, but I got hurt. Never again. I
No.
wasn't doing stunt things. I was just a low budget movie that never even came out. And the guy pushes me, he's supposed to push me, but his foot was standing on my foot, and I went back and my whole foot went.
Ouch.
Yeah.
And that's another
That-
thing.
that hurt.
They can't afford stunt people.
No, that's crazy.
Low
But
budget
now,
can't
anyway,
afford
Yeah.
so Trey,
I
You're the
couldn't
stunt
walk.
person.
I
Can I
couldn't
ask
walk
you
for
a-
3 weeks.
let me ask you a question. With this Academy of Martial Arts, you trained at this thing? Is this something different than Kim Kahana's training, or is this some same thing?
So the Academy of Martial Arts is actually when I started my martial arts career. That was when I was doing Okinawan Jiu-Jitsu and Okinawan Shuriru. Now, my instructor at that time was Andy Horn, which he was one of Kim Kahana's students as well. And that's actually how I met Kim Kahana.
Okay.
And that was just, I did that for, I want to say about 3 or 4 years. And then Andy Horn had passed away, sadly. And at that time, that's when I met Mr. K and started doing stunts. So there's not really a whole lot to talk about there because
Yeah.
that was a very early start in my years of a martial artist and stuff.
All
So-
right. And so we were talking about them before the Kim Kahana Ranch now that was so famous for Mr. Kim Kahana, the most famous stuntman in Hollywood.
Oh, yeah.
So now we know, he recently passed away. It's sad. And so now you mentioned is the camp going to be continuing for any new comers? Because I know a lot of young people were going to that. Do you know anything about that, or you allowed to talk about it?
So that is a very odd kind of situation.
Right.
So the school itself, the camp, is not going to continue at the ranch.
Yeah.
There's a place here in Sanford where I'm at right now that is called Decision Tactical. Now, me and James Sang Lee, who is another one of Kim Kahana's students, me and him are putting together some stuff at Decision Tactical to where we can actually go over there and do some stunt training with a couple of different stunt people and eventually kind of build that up there.
So like
Now-
continue the legend a little bit, continue his memory of what he did. That's really nice. I like that.
Right. There's also a guy in Tampa called Kevin Rigo, who again is another one of Kim Kahana's students
Mm-hmm.
that has his own stunt school opened currently.
Okay.
That is more of a extension of Mr. K's ranch.
Okay. Yeah. That's
I got a question, Trey. Okay, you're 19. You'll be 20. I'm
Yes,
thinking
sir.
that maybe the first kung fu movie that you saw could that have been Jet Li or
Uh,
Tony Jaa. I'm going to by what was the first martial art movie you saw for the first time? You remember?
Karate Kid.
Karate Kid.
oh
Oh boy. So
That
you
was the very first
no
one.
no you
The
don't you
original, not the one with Jaden Smith as
no
the student.
yeah,
right
The
the
original.
the original with the Cobra Kai people there.
Yeah.
Yes,
Now
yes.
I'm surprised. Now you got the perfect look for Cobra Kai. Have you tried to audition for that show?
I have not, but I am also not a very aerial kind of kicker. I am a very traditional, whereas they're doing more of what's called TKD, which is Taekwondo.
Yeah,
Okay.
I
Taekwondo, Korean
so
karate.
I am a very traditional Japanese martial artist, so all my stuff is ground. Now I do have one aerial kick that I like to do, but I taught it to myself through videos. It's not. It's just more of a jumping and spin kick.
You would love the movie called When Taekwondo Strikes. Have you ever seen it?
I have not, but I will add it to my watch list.
Yes, I saw it in the movie theater, 1973. Right before I went into the movie theater, I didn't get out of the car yet because I parked the car. My brother was driving. I was only like 13, 73, and they were just ready to play John Lennon's "Whatever Gets You Through the Night" for the first time on the radio. So let's wait to hear the new John Lennon song, and then we'll go into the movie theater. And we went into the movie theater to see When Taekwondo Strikes. And you'll love Angela Mao's in there. You know Angela Mao?
The name sounds very familiar.
Well,
I'm
you've
not
seen
very
Enter
good
the
with
Dragon?
names.
You've seen Enter the
Yes, I have.
Dragon?
Yes,
Okay,
definitely.
Angela Mao played Bruce Lee's sister when she kills herself with the glass.
Oh.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Yeah. So Angela Mao, but she's really great. I mean, she owns a bunch of restaurants now in Flushing over here in Queens.
Oh, of
But
course.
she's done hundreds
Ah,
of kung fu movies. I mean, over 100 kung fu movies, and she's Hapkido. She does Hapkido, Chinese kung fu, and
Aikido is a very nice style.
oh yeah, yes, and that's another movie. Look for that movie. I tell you, I should have pulled. I'm such an idiot. Right here next to me, I have a couple of hundred kung fu movie DVDs. I might have to go grab some and just flash them on the screen.
Yeah, he flashes
That-
them up.
But I'm a kung fu movie fanatic. That's why I'm loving this interview because I know I don't still study martial arts, but I love talking about it. Even when we had
Right.
Danny on the show, I enjoyed talking about it, and we still talk about all the time. I send him videos of me with the chucks and tell him about movies he never seen. So and this was all 1971, 1972. The early kung fu movies. They're all on.
Oh
YouTube.
yeah.
You could go on YouTube. There's thousands of kung fu movies.
Oh yeah.
You have the chucks with you? Could you give us a little thing of how you do it, Trey? You have them with you? Could you
Yeah.
just
Oh
do a
yeah.
little
I've
show
got
us,
black light chucks.
All right.
Oh,
I've got 2 pairs of them. So
oh,
if y'all want, I can turn off the lights in this room real quick because I already had the black lights on,
I want
and
to
I'll
see
move
that.
this chair.
That's
You got a
cool.
black light in there.
Oh yeah.
Wow. 1970s blacklight posters.
There you go. That's trucks, like
I love it. I love it. This is
neon
awesome.
truck.
Oh shoot.
Look at this. Look at this kid.
Oh my god.
Freaking 20 years old. Look at them. Brings back the old days, Sal.
Love it.
Right?
Oh
Look at
yeah.
the way he does that. Wow.
That's what I'm saying. My buddy Bill Singer used to do that too.
That's
It's a
crazy.
lot of fun to do chucks. This is one of my
good,
favorite
Doc.
weapons to do.
Wow, you do that good. That would be Cobra Kai. I think that's Cobra Kai, man.
Oh my
Yes.
gosh.
They're
Wow.
a lot of fun. One of my favorite weapons to do
I
are
would
the
knock
chucks.
myself out with that in 5
Hey
minutes.
Trey, and you were talking about Cobra Kai. Would you ever want to be in it?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Of course, right?
You
Yeah.
should try for that.
Oh, yeah.
You really should audition for that.
I think
really.
just for that alone, just that demonstration,
Yeah.
great.
Absolutely.
Sal,
Yeah.
you know anybody in that? Do you hook them up, or you know everybody else?
Well, we know Ralph Macchio,
I do actually know quite a few people on the show. You've
and,
seen the
and
video
Martin
I
Cove.
sent you with the
Martin
Chucks.
Cove.
I auditioned for a martial arts movie called Kicks here in New York. It was called Kicks, and I did a video. It's on YouTube with the nunchucks, and they liked what I did, but they were looking for people your age.
Yeah, young one,
They
young
said
ones.
that.
Hey,
Oh, brother
George.
George.
Oh, there's George Buzzio. Hey,
George.
George.
Hi,
Brother
George. How you
George, my
doing?
man.
Kung Fu Disco, he said.
We love you.
Little black light.
My brother George. I love it. Brother George, how you doing, man?
I haven't
George,
seen
we
you,
love
George.
you, George. Kung Fu Disco. I love that. Yeah, he's amazing.
Yeah, he is.
From what I saw, just unbelievable. I mean, come on.
I mean, do you have any of the pictures out? You sent him the pictures that I sent you? Did you have
I
them?
sent
Oh, I gotta let me get him. I forgot. Listen,
Yeah.
I forgot
Yeah.
about we're talking. I forgot.
Because I know I asked him for some, and I know Sal said he sent them.
Sal,
Where
you
Oh
is
yeah,
sent
I
it,
sent it to
me.
Gene as soon as you
Yeah.
sent them to me immediately.
Let me. Oh yeah, I got. Okay, I got him. I'll put him up.
Brother George, my man.
Yeah,
We
George.
gotta
How
go
you
on
doing,
Buzz.
George?
I want to go on Buzz Talk Radio again, man. When are we going on Buzz Talk?
Yeah.
Buzz Talk. I like that place.
Show some
Yeah.
of these pictures, guys. Hold on.
Yeah, so
Keep
George
talking. Keep
Buzzio
talking.
was the one that made the Kim Kahana movie, the one that
Yes, he is.
changed Hollywood.
Right. Yeah, that was George's movie, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
when
and
you
then
It was
that's
indeed,
the one
yes.
Trey was in that. All
Oh,
right,
okay.
there's that your motorcycle? Wow.
Technically, that one's my dad.
Oh,
Oh, you pulled
okay.
up all the pictures. You pulled up all the pictures I sent you right on your email.
Yeah, it's easier that way.
Yeah,
Well,
you just tap on them. What is the? Oh, there you go.
All right, so who is this in this one now, Trey? You see it?
That is me and James Duval. Now,
Oh,
James
yes, in the
Duval
movie.
played, right, he played a younger version of
Of Mr.
Kim Kahana.
Right, I remember that.
Right.
He looks different in that picture. Okay.
Yes. That was
That's from the
actually
man-
when
that's
we
from
were,
The Man Who Changed Hollywood, guys. That's the movie,
yes.
the Kim Kahana movie.
And I was actually teaching James Duval how to jump over the horse at that point.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
Now, what is this? What are you holding?
That is, I believe, I can't tell if that is my EQ or my black belt certificate,
Oh, okay.
but that was one of my belt certificates that I had gotten
like a certificate.
after our testing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this one playing a guitar.
Yeah, musician.
Yes, sir. Not the best with it, but I mean, I had to work on it.
And Trey's
so
famous for his cowboy
Well,
hat.
you
When he
look
came
good
to
in
New
that
York,
picture,
he had
too. You
that
look
on.
Is it you're a country artist too? Is that what you are?
If I would be an artist, that is exactly what I would be doing. Is a lot of country.
Wow, so cool.
Yeah.
I keep showing some more stuff here, guys. Let's see.
Well, let me know when you're ready. I know.
Oh,
There's the
wow.
fire.
That is me doing a bike slide through a what's called a flame bar, which is what's producing the flames there, and it's catching my back on fire.
Imagine that.
They're real flames, though, right? I want
Yeah.
people to know they're
Oh,
real
yeah.
flames.
Yeah.
They are real flames, 100%. That is in a live show in China.
Yes, we'll talk about that too when he went to China. Right.
What do they do? Let me ask you this. What do they do for precautions so you don't burn yourself? They put like some flame retardant stuff on your body or
So-
your suit?
So on the stuff that I'm wearing, I have a bunch of pads under it, and then I'm wearing a leather suit on it. Like over all the pads and stuff, I have.
No, we
I
don't.
do not have fear.
George said
But
you have
I
no
have
fear. No, you don't. I know that.
I have no fear. The weekend's almost here. Yeah, baby.
But I have a motorcycle jacket on underneath another leather jacket that has a flame patch on it.
Oh.
So on the flame patch, it has a bunch of gasoline on it so that it can catch on fire as I go through the flames.
Now, what is
Now-
this? You're jumping over a car on this one, right?
Yes, that is what kind of the one I was talking about earlier.
Oh, that's
That
the
would
one.
be my hardest stunt. Now that one is actually the first time that I had ever done that stunt with the actual flames.
Oh,
So
wow.
with that picture, it is just over the hood of it instead of over the
Whole car.
roof of it,
Right.
of the car.
Yeah, but you're jumping over it. Did you make it completely over to the other side?
Oh yeah.
Oh wow. Wow, wow,
Wow.
wow.
Yeah. No.
And
This
that
no.
is at a tournament during a MMA match.
Okay. Well,
So you were MMA as well. Holy crap.
yeah, I told you this kid is like.
Not officially trained in MMA, but I dabbled in it.
I got to get you to meet one of my friends. His name is Jim McCann. He's been known all over the world as a mixed martial artist, but he's been trained. He's trained so many people in wrestling, police academies, and everything, martial arts, and everything that he knows. You know,
Wow.
self-defense. He's helped the military. He's helped FBI. He's helped everybody, everybody in the world.
Wow.
And he
That's
knew
awesome.
Bruce Lee's trainer.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
that's how you would know that.
Dang.
He knew Bruce
Who?
Lee's trainer. His name is Jim McCann. He's a good friend of mine.
Oh, I
You hooked them up
no.
there.
Yeah.
Bruce Lee's teacher was Yip Man. Yip
No,
Man.
I'm just saying he knew this trainer. He said he knew his trainer.
Yeah, because Bruce Lee. I know everything about Bruce Lee, so I mean, maybe you're.
Well, I'm just going by what he told me. That's all. I don't know.
No, that's okay.
I think
You heard
Sal
something.
is a Bruce Lee freak. I never knew
I
that.
know that.
I know Bruce Lee better than I know myself.
I tell you, I think so.
You got a
So-
1,000 lifetimes ahead of you there, Trey. What
Yeah.
you're doing, I swear.
So anyway, so Trey, you how did you go about going to China now? Because I know when you said you were your mom and everybody said you were, and you posted it that you'd be going to China. What did you go for? How did you get there? How did it lead up to that? And what did you do there? Because I know you went for 1 year, correct?
Yes, I was over there all year of last year, 2024.
Right.
So what led up to me going there was right place, right time. I was at Kim Kahana's house and I was actually about to go to sleep. And my mom comes running down the stairs and knocks on my door and says, "Hey, Mr. K wants you to come up to his room. He has someone on the phone for you calling from China." So I go upstairs because he's one of those people that if he tells you, "Hey, come upstairs, I have to talk to you about something," you're going to go upstairs and talk to him about it. He's just one of those people. And when I went upstairs, I talked to a guy named Red Horton, who is actually the guy that got me the job in China. And while I was in China, I was doing 3 different kind of stunts along with fight scenes. I was doing what's called an inverted rappel, where I'm going head first, kind of like Spider-Man, towards the ground. And then I was doing what's called a yank back. And I was getting pulled by a wire through a set of doors, like I was getting shot by a shotgun. And then the third stunt that I was doing was actually the slide bike with a fire burn on my back.
Now
the
what
one
was
that
this
is
for? A kung fu movie in China?
No.
It was for a live show.
Live show.
So that kind of like down here in Florida in the Universal parks, there's a James Bourne stunt spectacular.
Right.
Gotcha.
It's an actual show, so you have live actors going through. It's not pre-recorded, so there can be mistakes happen, and it can be flawless. But there's always a large risk and danger risk on it because a lot of things can go wrong live.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, Paul, the creator of the posters, he's also a kung fu movie fanatic. He's watching right now. And me and Paul used to go to 42nd Street and see all the kung fu movies, and we both have love for kung fu movies, right, Paul? Right? Answer. If he answers, that means watching, or maybe send off the balloons and left. But yeah, I just wanted to mention that Paul. Forget about it. He owned the video store, and his martial arts section of VHS tapes at the time was huge. He had a huge collection of martial art movies in his video store.
So that's a really good experience. So you went to China, you lived there, right? So it was basically working these shows. Is that what you did? Like live shows? All right. So
Yes, ma'am. It was one park that I had worked in. So I would go there every day, except for one day out of the week. And I would work 3 to 4 shows unless it was a VIP show. And then there would be 5 shows a day.
oh wow.
Yeah, that's just like in any of those amusement parks. They have shows
Oh,
like
yeah.
4 or 5 times a day.
Yeah.
4 o'clock, 3 o'clock show, 2 o'clock show.
That must be
Right.
told on your body, like you're young, so you can handle it. I would have been in the hospital. I would have been in the emergency room. But you
Man, you compare
definitely
yourself to a 20-year-old now.
forget it. I can't even walk. I can't even walk to the kitchen, and he's over here jumping down on his head and everything else.
I was in a place called Dalian, China,
Yeah,
to answer your question.
Yeah,
that
George
was
asked.
George. I was going to actually
Yes.
ask you that.
Mm.
Is it close to Hong Kong?
Cheryl.
Not really. It's closer to Beijing than Hong Kong.
Oh,
Now,
okay.
do they speak more Mandarin or Cantonese?
Mandarin.
Mandarin.
They speak a lot of Mandarin in Dalian.
It's very different because I speak a lot of Cantonese. I learned how to speak Cantonese because I worked with a lot of Chinese, plus when I went to Kung Fu school. So actually, my daughter's boyfriend is Chinese Mandarin. So I'll talk to him in Chinese. You don't know what I'm saying. His mom knows, but the older school, Cantonese is more old school Chinese speaking. But Mandarin is more new. So I'll go to my daughter's boyfriend. Sunning Failok. What are you talking about? It's Sunning Failok. That's Happy New Year in in Cantonese. So I speak a lot of it, and but the Mandarin is completely different. As a matter of fact, Bruce Lee didn't speak Mandarin. So whenever
he did not.
did the movies, he spoke in Cantonese, but they were Mandarin movies, so they had to dub him. Like every movie, he was dubbed into Enter the Dragon is the only movie Bruce Lee had his real voice in, but all the other ones were all dubbed. Whether
right.
Even
to answer your question, I did not get to meet Frank Abel. He had sadly passed away before I managed to get over there to China, because I was going to be working with both Red Horton and Frank Abel at the same time. But he had passed away in Thailand before I could meet him.
All right. And Cheryl wants to know, how do you prevent injuries? Well, sometimes you can't, right? Or
sometimes you can't, but there are ways. So the ways that you can prevent injuries is to, 1, know how to do the stunt properly. 2, have your safety on standby. So say I'm doing a fire burn. You want to have rags that are soaked in water. Then you want to have your if you can get a water hose when training, definitely do that. And then you also want to have fire extinguishers on set if you're doing it on set, for sure. So those are your main ways for, say, a fire burn. But a lot of it comes down to really knowing how to do the stunts itself.
Right. Trained properly, correct, right?
Right.
Yeah, it's like anything else. I mean, if you're not a dancer and you try to get on the dance floor and do some cool stuff, you're gonna hurt yourself. So
well, it's repetition, It's repetition. The more you do it, like anything, you're gonna, accumulate the safety thing in your head. You're gonna know. Like anybody does anything, even when you start a job, you repetition. Once you get into it, you know it. You just know how to do it, and then you know what not to do and what to do, which is that's the safety part, I guess.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah.
A lot of your jobs now include AI to help advance some of the stunts you're doing, or they just tell you to do the stunt that way and they'll do it later?
So when it comes to that kind of stuff like CGI, it's more of, hey, go do this stunt. You only have to drop from 15 feet. And then we'll add the skyscraper that you're jumping out of, and we'll delay you in the air with a green screen.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, sorry, Fran. I mean, I just wanted to
ask I'm glad you asked that, because that's actually a good question. So,
what kind of self-care do you do for yourself, since you are a busy person?
Irene.
Irene. Thank you, Irene.
Well, one thing I do a lot of is I stretch daily. So if you don't stretch, your body won't be limber, and then you'll try to do something, and then you'll hurt yourself.
Yeah.
Another thing I do is I try to get massages maybe once a month, especially if I am going to do a live show. Like when I was in China, I would go once a month. Yoga could work, but it doesn't have to be yoga. It can just be basic stretches like actually do a straddle stretch. So a straddle stretch, which is just
Oh.
here.
Oh, my back. My back. Ah!
Oh.
And then of course, just going straight down like this.
Somebody ain't never been that
Just
way.
a bunch of stuff like that.
It's
I
nice to be
definitely would be. They'd
20
have
years
to
old.
call the ambulance already. George is going, yeah, you're getting old, Trey. Yeah, well, yeah. Holy camoly. If I did
mean-
what he just did now, I'd be over. I'd say we're on hiatus for the rest of the year. I'd be in traction somewhere.
My brother Trey's 20 years old. He's you
Terrible.
know, when you're young, you're like that, and you work out, and you stay in shape. You're like a rubber
Oh, yeah.
band.
But still,
know?
I don't remember doing that at 20. I never did that.
I didn't do it at 20, but I did it like as a teenager, 17, 18.
Oh, I don't
16.
remember. It's been a long time.
I was able to do what Trey just did, where I would bend completely down with my head between my legs without even bending my knees, But
Yeah,
I
George.
was 160 pounds. Now I'm 252.
Oh my God.
Now I'm 100 pounds more than I was.
I'm right
What
behind you, buddy.
I don't even want to talk about. Wait, what? I lost a tooth. Never mind. Everything else I'm going to happen. Trey, what else could you do? What else could you show us like that you could do? I know you did the chucks already. What else could you do? I don't know. You can't light yourself on fire. I know that, but
Can you do any like positions like what
you want to do
in
that
your-
kick? Could you do do something
Yeah,
like?
I could do the kick real quick that I was talking about.
quick
So,
routine? Drop the
I do a
cannoli.
mixture of 3 different kicks at one time. It's a crescent kick, then a spinning jump kick, and then I do a reverse hook kick. So it's this.
Yeah, that's Cobra Kai, dude. That's Cobra Kai.
That's a roundhouse.
Somebody's got to get him on that
That's
show.
a wrap.
Al,
It's
get
still-
your-
George just said I got to lay off the cannolis.
Cannolis.
Yeah.
I don't even eat cannolis. It's all the other stuff I eat. All the
You
other
could
junk.
never do what Trey just did if you're eating cannolis.
No.
Oh, I
don't
love
think anybody can do what he did
cannolis.
just now. Oh my
I love
God.
cannolis.
What's your workout routine like other than just stretching? What else do you do? Do you do like weights, power lifting,
I do
chin-ups and stuff?
I do push-ups and what's called V-sits. Those are my main 2 workout things. So I just do a regular push-up,
Oh God, I can't do that either.
and then I do what's called a V-sit, which is straight out
Oh,
and
Jesus.
up like that.
Oh man, I want to be young again, or I want to.
What's that for the abdominal muscles, Trey? Was that for the abdominal muscles?
Yes, sir. It's for your core.
Right.
Now, I don't have abs, sadly. I'm still working on that.
You need about 100 of them every day.
But my core itself is very strong. So if you punch me here, it's more likely to hurt your hand than me.
Oh God, you punch me, I'd be
Muscles.
dead. You bury me. Wow, that was crazy. Like that. Oh my God, I couldn't get on the floor and get up anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Yes,
Wow.
core
friend,
is key. It's the base of everything.
Friend, you're talking, you're what, 60, what, 8?
67. Yeah, make me older, you pain in the ass.
Well, I mean, you keep saying
Yeah.
that you can't do this, you can't do that. What are you're
Oh,
not 20
baloney.
years old.
I know 60-something-year-olds that do a lot. I just
Oh,
let myself
I
go to
know
hell.
an old lady. She's like 90,
Yeah, see?
94. She does gymnastics.
Yeah,
She
see, thanks a lot. So shut up.
Yeah,
Make
she,
me worse.
she does the gymnastics. but flip it around. Yeah.
I could probably just light myself on fire when I barbecue, but that's about it. But it wouldn't be for a stunt.
And look, I mean, you could have had Trey. You didn't even have to go to the dentist. You could have had Trey give you a kick, knock the teeth
I know.
out.
I didn't have to even get any. I just knocked my tooth out.
Trey
That's a
would have did
good
it for
one,
free, right? With practice.
Yeah,
Just a quick back fist.
Fast as light.
that's
Two
it.
flips
One
without 2
bang,
seconds.
boom.
That's funny.
Holy
funny.
sugar balls.
We
He's
gotta have
going
some
crazy.
laughs with this, right?
Comedy hour.
My man George, where's George? George, when are you gonna put me on your show again? When's it? When's the my eyes are so blurry? You're talking about
George, we
all
do everything
the eyes
on
are
here.
bad, the ears are bad, everything's bad.
We hear everything. We do everything. We're just funny with it.
We just gotta keep rolling
you
with
gotta
the,
go with
the
the
flow.
punches. Roll with the punches.
Yeah, we all came back from the flu and sinus infections and broken legs and knocked out
Everybody.
teeth. Everything's happening, so we got to come back and
Everybody's
have
shot.
some fun here.
My
Bunch of
teeth are
mess.
yellow because I drink too much tea. Yeah, you
See,
put
look,
water
let me
into
tell
a
you
teapot
something.
and-
Let me tell you something, Trey. This is a perfect example of stay in your lane. What you're doing, because you're gonna be like all three of us very soon. So watch out.
He probably said, "What am I doing on this show? Is this a show about nursing homes? What am I doing with all these old?"
No, he's having a good time, and that's important. Just
Of course, I'm joking around.
No,
Yeah,
but
you know,
have fun with it. Have fun with it.
no, Trey's
Oh,
a
yeah.
very. I have to say, when I met him, and that's another thing we were talking about before the show. Very respectful boy. His parents, and they know I love his parents.
Oh yeah.
And they know they raised a good boy because he is, yes, ma'am. Like I said to him when I first met him, I come from New York. I get shut the hell up, lady, or freak you, or I don't want to say the other words because we're gonna knocked off. He was yes, ma'am. I'm like, holy, you sir, yes, sir. I'm like, and you go, you haven't heard sir, right? I'm like, wow.
I can't believe my kids don't even say that.
I know. So he's a respectful boy, but in the whole thing, when I did the show with him on Danny's Anal show, he was so professional and everything with him was safety. And he was only like going to be 18 years old. And we did a lot of stunts, my brother and I couldn't believe the things that they made us do. And we worked around them. They trained us with a lot of stuff. I did stunt work with these guys and he was good. He was like, I still laugh at the one where Danny was shooting that gun and it kept going back and you were cracking up. Remember that one?
I do.
Oh,
It was funny.
So you were good. You were on that set and you did a lot of safety stuff with them, with Danny and what was the other guy's name again? I'm sorry.
Carlos.
Yes.
His name was Carlos.
Yes, Carlos. I love Carlos. Carlos was the guy in the movie also that didn't speak. But he's a stuntman. He trained with Kim Kahana also, correct?
He did.
Right.
Yes.
Right. So, but now, what other people did you train with? Like anybody big in the business besides like a few that you mentioned? Did you or you have any people in that business that you would like to train with or finally meet? Like anybody in your head that you would love to, because you're young, so you have time.
There's a lot of people in the business that I'd like to meet. One person that I would love to double would definitely be Jason Momoa,
Okay.
who plays Aquaman.
Yeah.
I would love to be his stunt double because, well, long hair.
Yeah.
But one person that I've trained with that is kind of big in the business, I would say, is, as George has it put here, James Sang Lee. Now, I have trained with him quite a bit, and I'm actually down in his area training with him every weekend on Saturdays and stuff.
Nice.
But James Lee has been in a movie called Plane with Gerard Butler.
Oh, okay.
Which is a very good movie, by the way.
Yes. Heard of it.
There's a bunch of people that I'd love to meet in the business.
So you got a bucket list then of names.
It'll happen.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. It's you got plenty of time. I mean, yeah, you're a young guy, and you're gonna do a lot of things, and it's as long as you want to do it. You can do anything you want to do as long as you want to do it. I always believe that.
We really want to get him on that Cobra Kai. We got to push anybody out there that's watching us.
Push buttons, guys. Push buttons
Let's
for this
go.
channel.
Trey Regar, he'll make it good. Sal, you know people, right? Stop making phone calls, Mayor.
Oh boy, I know everybody, but nobody knows me. That's the whole thing. They don't know who I am, but I know all of them.
Or they don't want to know you. Maybe they're hiding.
I mean, what's the name? Kirby. We're gonna get Kirby on the show, huh? I try to get Kirby a record deal. What's the name? Kirby?
Yeah, she's good. Yeah.
We got to get her a record deal, She's on your shows there. But hey, you know what we're gonna do, Trey? I'll send you some of my original songs. You can record them country style, and I'll make sure I get you a major record contract. Few calls in Nashville. Oh, you're in Florida though.
He's in Florida.
Yes, sir, I am.
You got that picture, that look with the picture with the guitar and the hat. Perfect album cover, right?
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
His famous cowboy hat. I have pictures when he came to New York for the Kim Kahana premiere, and he had his black cowboy hat on. Your dad too. I remember both of you had it on.
Yeah.
I
Well,
took
the thing is,
pictures.
you got a great personality. You're so upfront. I think to me, I don't know if I'm pretentious saying this, but I think you're like an old soul. You really seem like that. You're so. I've run into people like this a lot, and I'm like, wow, you're really an old soul. You're just so really nice, and like she said, your warmth. It comes through your personality.
Mm-hmm.
I see that. I feel that in the energy.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know if Sal feels it or Fran, but I feel that, and I see it, and I can hear the way you're talking, and you respond back like you're not a young adult. You're an old soul adult.
Right.
I see that. I don't know if you ever heard that before, but I got to say it.
But you know what
I have never heard that before.
But you know what that comes with?
It's a compliment, by the way.
It comes with
Thank you, sir.
The training that he went through. That's when it comes in that way. Because they train you to be like respectful, disciplined, and that's where it comes out. And not like these bratty kids, that have no respect or anything. It's like terrible,
When
I went to the New York premiere with you,
you had the broken foot.
I had a broken foot.
And I had a broken toe, you remember?
I
he
do.
had a broken foot and a boot on, and I had a broken toe, and I had to wear sandals. I remember that. Right.
When you were in China, did you visit the Shaolin monks there, or the Shaolin monks are and all that?
I didn't get to visit the Shaolin Mountains or anything like that. I did, however, get to go to the Great Wall.
And nice.
That was actually part of my birthday gift over there. So my mom and dad came over to China to visit me for my birthday.
Yeah.
And we went to Beijing. We went to the Summer Palace. We went to Beijing Universal. And we also went to the Great Wall of China. And we also explored around Beijing as well. It was a lot of fun.
A classic Kung Fu movie here where they did a fight scene at they filmed it right at the Great Walls of China that you're talking about. It was a excellent movie. The guy, not Bruce Lee, it was Bruce L.E. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of different Bruce guys. There's Bruce Lee, Bruce L.E., and Bruce Lee. But Bruce L.E., he's a real good Bruce Lee, what do you call it?
Impersonator?
Yeah, impersonator. And like me, they say I look just like Elvis.
Sal's getting
Everybody tells me I look just like Elvis. He looks just like Bruce Lee. But anyway, and they did a great scene by the Walls of China. I got the DVD. I got like hundreds of DVDs.
But that's a good experience. Let me tell you, just think about his age doing this. Like, he went to China and worked on these stunts. I mean, what 18-year-old? Think about it, guys. How old are we? I went to Chinatown. That was about as far as I went. He went to China. I mean, literally China.
Yeah, that's 24-hour flight.
Wow. Oh, it was 13-ish, not including the layovers or anything like that. So it was.
Oh, okay.
It was a good. No, sorry, that was from California to Seoul, Korea. That was 13 hours.
Okay,
my bad. But it was a little longer, of course.
And my friend Tommy, he goes to Hong Kong from New York, and it's like a 20-hour flight. So I guess from New York to Hong Kong is probably a whole different area.
I have not yet contacted him. I will contact him maybe tomorrow when I get the chance to.
Hey,
Oh,
Trey, I
George,
wanted to
George
ask
is
you,
hooking you up, huh?
Yes, yes, he is.
Trey, I wanted to ask you, did you have, now a lot of sometimes people don't have it, but do you have a goal for the next 5 years or 10 years or where you want to be with your life? And, you know, what goals are you trying to set up long term and short term?
Great question.
I don't really have many goals when it comes to long term like that. I'm more of a in the heat of the moment kind of person, but I
Okay.
mean, I do have short term goals of, okay, I want to contact this person. I want to try to get into this area. I want to try to do this.
Mm.
One thing that I'm trying to kind of do is get into the Universal stunt shows and the Disney stunt shows, being I'm down in the Orlando area and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to get in with them because they can also set me up with live shows on, say, like if I went in with Disney, they could get me on live shows on the Disney Cruise Line,
Yeah,
which then could
Right.
get my name
One
out
door
there to
opens
go
many,
on different
right.
spots.
Right.
One door opens many other doors, and that's what you're just said. That's beautiful.
Yeah, that's a good. That's
That's
cool.
incredible. That's awesome.
Well, the attitude, like you said, Gene, he's an old soul because that what he just said is like he's more advanced than most people in our age because he knows take it one day at a time, one step at a time. Just like when you're driving somewhere, you can only see 200
Right.
feet in front of you, and as you keep going, you'll see another 200 feet. And you'll get there when you get there. And
Yeah, you get there when you get there. So, Trey, do you have any professional pages like besides your regular Facebook page, Instagram, and so on that people can go on and see maybe some of your videos or your work or?
It's mainly Instagram and Facebook that I have stuff posted onto. I don't really have a YouTube channel that is actively going through and doing that kind of stuff. I do plan on getting a martial arts YouTube posted
That's
and
good.
start doing more of a kind of a instructoral kind of role with it
Mm.
so that I'm teaching people, okay, this is how you do this technique, this and all that kind of stuff, and become kind of a martial arts content creator on YouTube.
All right. So, could you tell us what your pages are? What are the names under so everybody wants to go on and check?
My Facebook page is, I believe, Ronald Trey Regar 3,
Okay.
and it should be the same for my Instagram.
Okay.
When it comes to my Instagram, it is Ronald_Trey. No, sorry, it is Trey_Regar_3. So I for 3.
Okay. And you have videos on there. I looked at some of them, and you have like videos.
I do,
of
yes.
China and so on. Okay.
Yeah, when I was having Paul making the post, I had to ask Paul. I said because I sent him all your information. I said, what is that? Is that 111 or I? I didn't know what to do with that, So Paul said, no, I think it's I, and that stands for 3. Am I right?
3.
Correct.
Third.
Yes, correct.
I was confused of what to do with that on the poster. So Paul figured it out. So what is that? The third? Does that mean you have
generation.
Third generation,
third
right?
generation,
Yeah.
right?
Third generation of the name. So
Yeah.
my name is Ronald E. Regar 3. I am named after my dad, who is named after his dad.
Gotcha.
Right.
What did your dad do? What did your dad do?
My dad is a Marine,
Mm-hmm.
a retired Marine, I should say. He does private security. Sorry, he did. He now works as security still, but just doing a little different.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, and he was on the set with us when
There goes Paul.
we did the movie.
Yes, he was.
So he was helping.
He was.
He was helping with the stunts and so on, which was a big help when Danny went on fire. I remember that.
Oh yeah.
He put Danny's leg out fast.
Oh yeah. That stunt was a little hectic, I will say.
Yeah, it was crazy, but it was funny.
We got
Funny.
about 2 minutes
I'm sorry,
left,
go
guys. Yeah, you can finish it up, or we can go a little bit longer. Whatever works for you, Trey. We're good.
Are you telling me the hour is already up?
It's almost up. We got time.
Almost, yeah.
I just can't believe it went so fast.
I know. Well, he's a great
Interesting.
guest. He's a great guest.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yes.
and you speak very nice. Your voice sounds good on the air and all
Very
that.
respectful. I'm telling you.
Thank you.
Is this your first interview? Have you done interviews before?
This is my first podcast interview that I've been on.
And you're like you. By the way you're talking, it's like you've been on 100 of them. But
He's a
Because I told you, because he's mature, he's well trained, he's got that in him. He's not like, imagine us interviewing a kid from New York. Well, what the I can't say, we'll get kicked off. What the George, right? You know what I'm talking about. Thank you, George. He said, good show, everybody. Yes.
Thank you.
what's that, George? You
show.
don't do the buzz talk no more. What happened? You retired after? They probably fired them after they saw me on the show. That's what happened. I know, George.
Thank you,
Brother
Cheryl.
George, he had the mayor
Thank
of
you.
Rock on the show. They said, we don't get this guy, George, out of here, and Sal, the mayor of Rock.
And that's when I met Sal, and I got Sal on his show. Remember, Sal? I got you on George's show.
Yeah, you got me on the show.
Yeah. Oh, he's too busy.
Too busy.
Too busy.
Yeah,
Oh,
we're all
hey.
busy.
I hear you, brother. Everybody's busy.
Oh yeah.
So
Who's
Trey,
a gentleman? Are you a gentleman?
Cheryl,
he's
baby.
a gentleman. He's a gentleman. Not Sal. Him, maybe. I'm only kidding.
No, not me. I'm together. But I used to be a gentleman when I was 20
He
years old.
was.
I
I'm
did
too old
too.
to be a gentleman.
I'm a gentleman
Yeah.
too. I don't want to say that word. I got BALLS, as I said. Oh, but no, Trey, you're amazing. I'm very happy that we got you on, because I always told Danny, I said, I want to get Trey on. I want to get Trey on. We just had Danny and Teresa on a few weeks ago. So I wanted to get you on also, because I found George Buzzio, I found you, everybody through Danny, basically. That's
Right,
how I
yeah.
met everybody. So Danny hooked me up with a lot of people. So, and the people that he hooked me up with were great people like you and George and so on. So it was a pleasure having you on here. And your mom and your dad, I'm going to say it again, they did a great job. I know they're watching. Mom and dad, you raised a good boy. I always said that. He's respectful. He's strong. He's going to go places. You're going to go to major
proud of
places.
him.
I
Yeah.
know you are.
I'm so proud of him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what else? Any of you guys, before we end, what you want to put in? You
Sal?
guys, both these, any more questions?
Sal, go ahead.
I can't. You know what? I was ready to add something, and from you saying that, you made me forget what I was going to add.
Oh God, I'm going to give you Prevagen.
Wait a minute. Who's that? Fran, wish it could have.
I know.
Kim
I was
Kahane,
going to
yeah.
come
Yes.
down. You remember? I was going to come down when we had his anniversary thing and my knee, and I could have met him. And I'm he was his mentor too, Mr. Kahane. Mr.
He was a
Kahane.
lot of people's mentors.
Yes,
I
he
gotta
left
see
a
this.
legacy.
I want to see this documentary that George made. I never got to see it yet.
George,
It's on
Waking Up-
Amazon.
Yes,
It's on Amazon, so you can actually go onto Amazon Prime and rent it or buy it.
Yes.
Now, I don't know the prices for it, but it's on Amazon and you can watch it there.
And yes,
Absolutely. I
and
didn't know that.
it's
Okay.
a great movie, and it won the last year when I was in the film festival judge. Right, we were there. You saw it because George, Gene is one of the
judges this year,
The
last year
judges.
for
Yeah,
judge.
and I'm not in
yeah,
it this
you're
year,
right.
but
Yep.
He's we saw the Kim Kahane movie was
It was
amazing, and it won.
wonderful. It was
Oh, he
amazing.
said it's cheap, $1.99. Sal, you can
I'll
handle that.
spend $1.99 to
Even
watch
with
It
your
was
unemployment.
amazing.
it.
It was absolutely amazing.
Yes.
And I just want to say I'm going to be doing it next week again,
Right.
one more time. And I'm not going to do it anymore. This is too much work.
Yeah, I mean,
But,
but
Anybody
lot of
who's
work.
watching out there, you're looking for a good stunt man. I know there's a lot of independent filmmakers out there.
yes,
I know Hollywood's not watching us yet anyway, but anybody out there?
You don't know that.
Stunt
You
man,
don't know that.
yeah, you don't know.
I don't know that. You're right.
Don't
You never
forget,
know who's watching.
we're
You know
we're
what,
all
George?
over, and he's on TikTok tonight. He put us on TikTok, so you
You're on
never know.
TikTok right now. Yeah.
Oh,
Awesome.
we're on TikTok tonight?
I put you on TikTok tonight. Yep.
How come nobody notifies me about these things?
He said it earlier.
You're busy drinking your
It was a
Coca-Cola.
surprise.
I
It was a
was just
surprise.
imitating what's the name? You remember that scene with what movie was it? With William Shatner, where he's right in the door. He goes, "How come nobody informs me about these things?" And he opens the door. He's right there. He's supposed to be talking like on a computer, but he was just in the window, right? You
Yeah,
got to see the part to get what I was doing. I guess nobody saw that.
You know,
It wasn't
we
funny.
interviewed him years ago. I don't want to get off
Well,
the track, but we interviewed him years ago, and he was so gracious and so nice.
William
That's
Shatner.
nice.
He
William
gave
Shatner.
us like 15 minutes of his time. Yeah, it was amazing.
Very
One
nice.
of the hosts that I was had on my station interviewed him, and we were listening, and he was just amazing.
And
That's
next week
nice.
we have back by popular demand. Who do
But
we
Trey-
have, Fran, next week?
Next
Trey,
week,
you're
we
going to
have
be coming back
Larry
too.
Romano.
Larry
Larry
Romano
Romano?
next week we have.
Larry Romano's coming back next week on the 23rd, right? Is that the 23rd?
Yes.
And that's our guest next week. And I just spoke to him today, and we're all ready to go.
And where is he from, so people know?
Larry Romano is from the King of Queens. He played Richie on the King of Queens, the Thin
Firefighter.
Red Line. He did tons of stuff. He also is going to promote his movie Saturday in the Park. So there's a lot of good vibes next week. So we're going to
Yeah.
talk about a lot of stuff with Larry.
He also does all that stuff with the dogs and stuff.
Yeah,
right?
we're going to talk about all of that next week. And he's also, starting a band. He loves music. So Larry's a great guy. I met him. I hung out with him already. And he's just a very down-to-earth, cool guy. You got to really meet him to know who he is. And
Yes.
he's a wonderful person. He's got a good personality. There's haters in this world. There's lovers. But you know what? When you meet the person personally, like when I met you, Trey, you meet somebody. When I met you, Sal, that was a whole nother thing. But I'm only kidding.
You were like in shock. You couldn't believe that you actually.
I was
met
like,
him.
what the hell am I
No,
doing?
Trey, I'm not conceding. I'm convinced.
And Gene, you were gracious when I met you for the first time last
thank
year.
you, my dear.
So, yeah. So you got to know people and personally and meet them and really feel their vibes. But I love all you guys. All you. I'm the woman on the thing, but I feel like one of the guys because I'm not just like feminine. I'm like I like to. If I could curse or something, I probably would. I'll get thrown off, but I can't. Beep, 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 beep.
Yeah, next week when we have Larry Romano, we'll tell him if he's doing a new movie.
Yes.
To get Brother Trey in there. Do
Yeah,
some stunt work and
let
some
me
acting.
tell you, everybody and Larry's from LA. He's Hollywood, so you never know who he knows too. So,
George,
thank you.
let's say congratulations on the show. This is fun.
Yeah,
thank you,
fun.
brother.
Oh
We're
yeah.
the fun.
We
We're the
have to have
fun bunch.
George as
Don't
a
you know
guest.
that, George?
When are we gonna have George as a guest?
Yeah, we're gonna
that's
put
right.
him
He's
on.
too busy. He got no time for us, right, George?
I know, George. We're like
It's only 1 hour, George. You could do
I
it.
know.
And look at all the fun you have. Where are you going to go get this fun at?
Yeah, George, we're gonna get you on next because you got a lot of background. I gotta
Send
talk
him
to
a
you
link
about
right now. We'll have him join in right this second. Send him the link.
Zoom me in. Baby.
Zoom me in. He said, "Zoom me in. Zoom him in."
Put him on the show. What the hell?
Who's sending him the link?
She's like, shut up, Sal. I gotta go watch TV with my wife. I haven't.
My wife. Yeah, she wants me to do the laundry. Sal, right? You gotta do laundry. How am I gotta do the laundry while my wife watches TV?
Man, I did laundry before. I'm
So
ready.
funny.
I need a shovel. I'm ready to dig the hole for myself because I'm like wiped out.
Oh my god. Oh,
These are all nuts.
Uh,
But anyway,
want to wrap it up.
so
It's up to
this
you
was
guys.
this was a great show, guys. I really
Thank
had
you
a
so
great
much.
night. Trey, thank
Me
you
as
so
well.
much.
Now it's
You're
over.
amazing.
Thank you.
It's right
Of
on
course.
YouTube.
Thank you for
can
having
watch it
me.
right away.
Yes.
Thank you
You're
for having me.
absolutely amazing. We just wish you the best of luck in your movie careers, and don't forget about us.
Yeah.
Come
Oh, I
back.
won't.
How can he? Impossible to forget about us. This is probably his worst nightmare.
Hey Trey,
Oh my God.
Trey, one more nunchuck thing. My son's here. I want him to see this. Let him come over. He's a
All right.
professional martial artist. Watch this. Get closer to the camera. a little so
Another
you see it.
demonstration. Oh, cool.
One
I'll
more.
turn the lights off again.
He likes the black light.
Okay,
He
I
likes
freaking
Oh, I
it.
love the black
Watch
lights.
Crazy.
I love this.
Oh, let me move the chair a little bit. There we go.
Sorry, go ahead. Look at this kid. Gee, I mean, he's not even a kid anymore, but Jesus.
He's only 19 and he's like a crazy that loves it. You gotta see the fire stuff he does. Oh my gosh.
Fire stuff. Oh, boy.
I could probably get him a job at Wedding doing nunchuck.
Well, he's in Florida.
Oh, nice.
Amazing, dude. Amazing.
Amazing.
Amazing, right?
That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
I'm going to go turn the lights on real quick.
Turn on the lights and shine, 'cause the night is all away. Yeah,
So-
baby.
Wait, my son's got a question.
So if
Go
someone
ahead,
comes in
guy.
the
We can
house,
get one more question in. Go
so if
ahead.
someone comes in the house, then you're just gonna take the nunchucks, right? Not the gun. You're gonna get the nunchucks.
No, I used the sword before the chucks.
I gotta send you a video of me on YouTube with the truck. What happened was there was a movie in New York being made called Kicks, and they were looking for martial art peoples, extras, bit parts. So I made a video right here in my living room with my nunchucks, and I sent it to them. They loved what they saw, but they said they were looking for people your age, 20 years old. I said, why? I could be an old man in the background with the trucks. No, it's all young people in the movie. Oh shit! All right.
They didn't want you to bang yourself in the head and knock you out.
Oh boy, I banged myself in the head so many times doing that when I was a kid. It's amazing I'm still alive.
Sal would have a nunchuck.
I
up his
remember
nose.
with the heavy trucks hit me right in the back of the head, and all day long I was walking around like a zombie.
That's what I said. I said it. You ever broke
You
your
hit
nose?
yourself in the back of the head with some metal chucks that are heavy, and you will be
Oh.
dizzy for hours.
Oh my
I
god!
did it many times.
Especially if
And
you
I
hit
don't wanna
yourself
say
right where
the
your
other
spine
places.
is.
Ow!
Ooh.
I know the other place that I hit myself a few times. I ain't got to tell you. I'm sure you
Oh
know.
god!
Woo-hoo! Boy, oh boy.
That's even worse.
Forget about
Is that
it.
when you started singing?
Forget about it. That's when I hit the high note.
Hey, Trey, here's a question really quick for you, too.
Shut up.
Before you go, have you thought about getting into the wrestling entertainment? Because there's a lot of martial arts in there they do every now and then. And they do a lot of showmanship, too.
I have thought about going in and doing, like, I think it's AWE or something like that, and also
AEW.
Yes, AEW, and WWE. I have thought about doing those kind of circuit kind of things, but at the same time, that's a lot more dangerous than what I'm doing. So it's kind of, I don't want to go into it and get hurt and not be able to continue my stunt career. That'd be more of a, maybe when I get older and not doing so much of movie stuff and live shows in different areas, but I want to kind of be able to travel and experience that kind of stuff before I go and do that kind of stuff.
You can get hurt with the other stuff, right? So you want to
Right.
stay where you can. Yes. All right, that's a
And
good idea. You're smart.
We're friends on Facebook now. I saw you accept me as a friend.
Yes, sir.
And I'll send you in your message casting for Cobra Kai. Look for it.
Yes, sir. I'll look for it. I'll make sure to keep my eyes open on
And
it.
I know a lot of people
I'll
in
ask
there.
Larry if he
I-
knows
They
anybody.
film.
too.
Where do they film? And I think they film in Florida, right? Or Los
Yeah, he's-
Angeles.
I don't think they film in Florida. I think it's maybe in, I think they film in California or in one of the Carolinas.
Yes, that's right. North Carolina. That's right. Because you know Johnny P, who was on our show. Johnny P, one of Johnny P's best friends, is on the show. The guy Sean. John, he used to be on the soap opera, Young and the Restless, and he's big.
Oh, your daughter's on. Hi, Danny.
I know she's saying hi.
Hey, there
That's
she goes.
Dean's
When are you
daughter
gonna have me
saying
back
hi
on
to
your
everybody.
show?
She probably wants you on her show, too. Now you're going to want to be on everybody's show. That's what happens. Then you're going to see, because she's got a lot of Disney and Nickelodeon people, you might want to go on her show.
Yeah, get on her show. If she has those people, then you want to do that. Universal.
Oh, yeah.
He wants to do the stunt shows and the.
It might help you in that respect as well.
Oh,
You
wow, that's
definitely
cool.
have the perfect look, the perfect image for Cobra Kai, 100%.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, the perfect image.
Thank you.
Age, the perfect look. Forget about it. I'm not gay or anything like that, but the girls will I know a good-looking guy when I see it, but I'm very comfortable with my sexuality. But he's a good-looking guy on that show. Forget about it. He has 1,000 girls after him.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So there's a lot of people looking right
The
now.
long hair is a plus.
Oh, boy.
It is a plus.
Yeah. Long hair helps too. That's why I cut mine, because when my hair is too long, my wife gets jealous. All the girls want me. I had an old lady in the wheelchair last night calling me by the window. Sal, go out with me, please.
You're
I had to
nuts.
lock the doors.
You're cracked in the head.
I
I think you hit
At least
yourself
I
with
got
the
you laughing.
nunchucks too many times.
What did you?
I'd
What
agree
did
with that.
Dina
I
say
said
about
you
the
hit
long
yourself
hair?
in the head with the nunchucks too much. Damn it.
Oh, forget about it.
Well, we got to let this gentleman go. We had so much fun with you, Trey. Just thank you.
I had a great night.
Enjoy this
Great
so
to
much,
meet you,
man.
brother. I'm going to help you out in any way I can. I really do know
All of us
everybody.
will. We'll try to help you any way we
Yeah,
can.
and
Thank you. Thank you.
you. And the next time we come, if I come back to Florida, I told Danny as soon as my knee gets done, he's gonna bring us down there again. So
Promise me
I'll-
one
Sounds
thing,
good.
Trey.
Okay.
Trey, if you get anything, let us know, and
Yes.
don't forget about us. Okay.
I definitely won't be able to forget about y'all.
Yeah, how can you
I'm
forget
gonna-
us? Come on. You can't forget this bunch, the Brady bunch, the nut bunch. The three of us.
All right, guys. Everybody
right.
out there listening and on the viewing, listen to us. Thank you for watching the Mayor of Rock and Roll and
Yes.
Friends with our guest, Trey Regar. Amazing.
Dolce
Arigato.
seafood. Dolce.
Arigato, minasan.
Or whatever that is. Okay.
There
I'm
we go.
trying. I don't know.
Happy
Dolce.
Easter,
Thank you.
everybody.
Take care. Peace out, guys.
Bye,
Love you all.
everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Thanks, Trey.
Cheers.
Bye,